Hey, you up on that phone? That means you got time for God. Today we are going to be talking about anger, hurt, offense, how to get through it and over it. I am using some references from The Bait of Satan from John Bevere. So, first of all, we're going to talk about offense. What is offense? Offense is I did something to you, you did something to me, so now I have the right to operate and walk in that hurt. I feel like because you did something wrong to me, I can hold a grudge against you. I can keep being angry with you or keep holding on to that whenever I see you because when we was in third grade, she took my juice box in my man and I ain't never want to talk to her again. Come on, girl. So that is just an example of what offense or anger looks like, or whatever the case is, whatever the person did to you, or that situation. So first of all, what does the Bible say as believers what we should do? How should we handle anger? Proverbs tells us fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. Proverbs 16:32, better to be patient than powerful. Better to have self-control than to conquer a city. It says in Colossians 3:8, but now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malicious behavior, slander, and dirty language. Ephesians, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. James, so get rid of all the filth and evil in your lives and humbly accept the word God has planted in your heart, for it has the power to save your souls. Again, Psalms 4:4, don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. So this is saying, even though you have the opportunity to lash out, you have the opportunity to get it back in blood. Oh, we match your energy, right? So this is telling you in the Bible, we don't do that. Not around here, partner. We don't do that type of stuff. We are going to hold our temper, control ourselves, recognize what happened, and we're going to hold it, not hold it in, but because we are going to let it out. You should not be holding in anger. What you need to do is, it says, think about it overnight and remain silent. So think about the offense. What happened? Why were you offended? What was your trigger? What happened? How can God fix this? How can he rectify this? Not even necessarily between y'all, but most importantly for yourself. How can he help you to get over and through this offense so it doesn't, again, like Ephesians said, give a foothold to the devil? Because if you continue to relive that offense, that sin, that anger over and over and over again in your head, you're going to go crazy because you're going to be like, I'm just so angry. You're never going to get through it and over it because you keep looking at it in a hurtful lens. You keep looking at it in the lens like they just wanted to do me wrong, so I just don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And even if they genuinely did want to do you wrong, how is holding on to that helping you? Because now they've hurt you and now you're hurting yourself because you aren't giving yourself the opportunity to grow from that. Right? So we're going to take it, give it to God, and let him know, God, I'm so hurt right now. But I'm not going to let this take over my life, because we know that whatever we see and watches gives hold to our whole body. So I'm not going to let this strife, this anger take over my body. I'm going to give this to you, lay it at your feet, let you know how I feel, and continue to work through it. Whether that's with God in therapy or both. Right? Because we don't want to make that our personality. You don't want to be that type of person that walks around with 6, 7, 5 different bags of guilt and shame and hurt and anger from all these different people. You're gonna be bag lady Miss Erykah Badu, honey. We got to get through that, right? So an example that John Bevere used in the Bible is comparing it to gold. So let's think about gold. 24 karat gold is pure. It looks so bright and so pure, it almost looks fake, because we're used to 18 karat, 12 karat, 14 karat, 18 karat gold, and it doesn't look as bright and as pure as this pure 24 karat gold. So because the reason why is because it's been mixed with other metals like silver and alloys and all these other things, so it's not as bright. It's still shiny for the most part. It looks like gold, but it's not pure gold. It's not genuine, just raw gold, right? And the reason for that is because it's been mixed to cheapen the value. It's not going to be as expensive as 24 karat gold because it's not worth that much. So think about it in a sense where if you have pure love and you're born, you have a heart of pure love and genuine care for someone. But as life goes on and people offend you and attack you, you've been hurt by a parent, you've been hurt by a relationship, you've been hurt by a teacher, let down by a job you thought you were going to get, a career, or whatever. Just as you go through life and you get offended and hurt, you start to collect these other metals. Silver being, oh, maybe you got hurt by a parent, or other metals. You start to mix that into this pure, genuine love that you have, and now it's starting to cheapen the value. That pure love that you once had isn't as genuine anymore because it's been mixed in with the world. It's not as loving and willing to share as it used to be because, oh, I done did this before and I got hurt, so I'm not doing that. So now we go from 24 to 18 to 12, and then gets lower and lower to where it's like, it's not really worth too much. And then that's where we get the phrase heart on ice, or our heart is hardened. Hebrews 13 says that the heart is hardened through the deceitfulness of sin, because we have offense, bitterness, anger, and strife in us. So now we don't have a pure heart of gold or a pure heart. We just have hardened, closed off. I'm straight. I ain't with that. I'm on my own. I'm on my lonely, right? So we know that in the Bible, it talks about how we have to have a pure love for Christ and for others. Why? Because Christ first loved us. How can we have that? What we can do is, first of all, be reminded that we can only love because Christ loved us first. So it talks about in the Bible how in 1 Peter 1:6, in this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, though the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So this is saying, even though you go through trials and tribulations, we're going to be able to see that your heart is still pure, not only for God, but for his people, because you can first recognize that you still have that praise, honor, and glory to give to God. So the reason why I brought up the fire is because the process that it takes with making gold is it first has to be encoded in this substance called flux. So flux pulls out the impurities being other metals like, or stone or dirt or whatever, to pull it out so that it's nothing but pure gold. So our fire, right, our refiner is going to be the trials. Are you still going to love God if you lose your grandmother? Are you still going to love God if he doesn't give you that job that you thought you wanted, but it's really not going to help you? Are you still going to love God if he doesn't give you what you're asking for on this giant wish list or vision board or prayer board, right? So are you still going to love him in spite of, or does your love have conditions? You serve an unconditional God, but do you have conditions on your love for people, including Christ? Do you love God only up until what he can give you, or do you love him for who he truly is? If he didn't give you the platform, if you never got the money, if you never got all these things you are asking for, it's really just to see, are you genuinely, purely in this road, in this walk with Christ for Christ, not for what Christ can do for you? Because one, we're reminded that the walk of Christ is very narrow and very few find it. But the path and the broad way to hell is big. Everybody's gonna go. But following Christ is not for the weak. You're going to go through trials, tribulations, and afflictions. As the Bible and this book states, it's not no walk on easy street, easy like Sunday morning. It is hard. Every single day you have to pick up your cross, is what the Bible told us. Jesus said you're going to have to pick up your cross every single day and die to yourself. So if we know that, then we know that, yes, I know that my parent, my father, my mother, whatever, they hurt me bad. But because I first love Christ, I know that I can continue to move forward. Think about Jesus. Jesus had all these people around him, right? But most importantly, his 12 disciples that loved and cared for him and told him, no matter what, I'm still going to love you, right? We know that they loved him up until a certain point. Why? Judas sold him for 30 pence. Peter denied him, right? So even people closest to Jesus, they denied him. They ran away from him. So not to say you don't got the right to be hurt, but yes, even Jesus was betrayed. So yes, you are going to be betrayed in this life, but that is okay because Jesus can help you get through that. I say all that to say, yes, you are going to be tried, but what are you getting from it? Why are you following Christ, right? So are you going to be a 24 karat gold and remember who, what, when, where, and why this is all for, how you can even love somebody, how you can even trust someone? Or are you going to continue to let the world taint, tarnish, and cheapen the pure love that God has given you once you've accepted him into your life? It's so much easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. That's why every single day you have to die to self. You have to carry your cross, because it's hard. It's hard to walk in the world, especially as a believer, where people constantly attack you, your religion, your faith, your belief. They try to get you out of body, get you out of character, and then flip the script and say, oh, that's not how Christians act. Oh, you a Christian, but you acting like this? And they want to get you out of character. You have to remember that there are 4,200 gods and religions, but you serve the one true God. You serve the one true Father, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. So there is nothing that God cannot do. It's not. You think that God don't know you want to get over that hurt? He wants you to get over it. But you have to let him in and be willing, be soft and malleable. Like 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold is so pure, and it's worn on special occasion because of how delicate it is. Excuse me, right? You can't wear 24 karat gold like you wearing that Shein necklace, right? It's something that is so genuine, it's soft, pliable, and tender. And it's very easy to break and, do whatever. So this is the type of love that sounds crazy to walk around in, because it's like, but what if somebody hurts you? What if? Right? They are 18 karat gold, boo. You're 24. You can't let you won't let an 18 karat bring you down from a 24? You gonna let a 12 karat bring you down from a 24? Come on now. You are God's child. You are God's son, God's daughter. Don't let these people get you out of character and make you forget who you serve. You serve a God. I keep saying this. You serve a God who pulled a man out of his grave after 4 days of being dead. 4 days of being out of here cold, flatlined. This is a God who cares, serves, and loves. He knows your heart. He sees the offense. It says in the Bible that there is no tear that is not written. There's no tear that goes unseen. He sees the hurt, he sees the pain, but are you going to continue to relive it and do nothing? Or are you going to give it to him and let him make something wonderful? I just genuinely want us to know that, again, it is not foreign to God to be hurt, to be, offended. It happens. But it's on you what you do with it. Are you going to move in it? Are you going to live by it? Or are you going to use that as your testimony and rise above it? Like a phoenix. It's a fire, but you got to rise above it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I do understand. I get offended every day sometimes. I do. And again, I am not perfect. I have sin. I have issues just like the next person. Nobody on this planet Earth, this side, is perfect. Every single day we all fall short. Every single day we all fall short. Every day. But it's about how do you move forward. Okay, God, I got hurt and I said something I shouldn't. What do I do now? Are you going to sit there and be like, well, God knows my heart. He knows your heart, but do you know your actions though? Are you going to fix it? How are you going to move forward from this? So don't live in anger and offense, because again, it doesn't do nothing for you. Nobody. It doesn't. If you're going to keep reliving it, at least let God watch it so he can tell you, see, well, this is what happened. But what we can do is we can move forward this way. Or do you just want to keep being like, shh, be quiet, just keep watching, keep watching. You want God to watch the sin and the offense over and over and over again. And he like, yeah, I've seen it and I already have a solution. But you just want to keep watching it and replaying it over and over again. So I guess that's where we're at, right? Yeah, this is just, it's a hard pill to swallow, like I said before, but we can do this. And if nothing else, Philippians 4:13, you can do all things through Christ who gives you the strength. You can't do it by yourself, bro. You're going to struggle. You cannot do it by yourself. There's no way you are. Give it to God. Leave it on the altar. And be honest with your Father. That's the thing. He's your Father. He's your dad. He cares for you. He loves you. He knows. He just wants you to know. Think about in Genesis. When God said, where are you? He knew where the people were. He knew where Adam and Eve was. But he wanted them to say out loud, I'm here. Father, I know God knows you're hurt, but he wants you to come to him like, God, I'm hurt. I'm hurt, I'm offended, and I feel some type of way. Give it to him so that he can help you. He wants to help you. He does not want you to continue to live in a state of panic and offense and hurt, because eventually after so long, your heart gets hard. And then your spirit gets dampened. And your flesh goes stronger, because now they get you to operate in the flesh. And then that's also why it's so hard for people to really believe in Christ, because it's like, what do you mean you love me with no condition? What do you mean you love me despite of everything I've done? There's no way, right? So don't let the enemy take over and make you think there's no way God can love you after what you've done, what you said. That's impossible. Right? Because he cares and loves for you no matter what. Think about David. David literally took someone's wife and killed them. And God still called him a man after God's heart. He still was a man of God, because he recognized his sin and knew that he needed God. He knew he couldn't do it by himself. How much more, right? I love you, but God loves you more. Y'all have a great day.